Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we're going to take a look at a suite of plugins from Three Body Technology, the Deep Vintage series, which is actually a set of 6 plugins that uses neural network AI technology to model actual hardware units. And you can see on the screen, we've got them all up here. We've got 2 tape machines, a preamp, a DA/AD converter, a Neve style pre and EQ, and an API style pre and EQ. Three Body Tech uses a proprietary audio processing neural network machine learning technology to model these units. And they say it's different because, unlike physical modeling and convolution, this AI is based on audio signals from the real hardware units. And they claim it nulls in the hardware down to about -40 to -75 dB, depending on the hardware model, which is even better than the variance between different models of the same exact unit. There's also noise modeling in there because, of course, noise is part of these older vintage hardware units. But you can turn that noise off. You can see there's a noise button in the top bar here that allows you to remove the hardware noise from the unit itself. The only one that doesn't have a noise button is the Green AD AI because it doesn't have that much noise to begin with. A lot of these plugins also have a drive knob in them, and that drive knob allows you to sort of fine-tune the distortion level. Basically, the higher the drive knob is turned, the more distortion you get. So let's jump right into this thing. Let's take a look at a Neve EQ first. This one is called the Brit 73 AI, of course, based upon a classic Neve 1073. So I have the plugin bypassed here. I'm going to play an acoustic guitar part with no processing from this plugin. I'll engage the plugin. Now the preamp moves through different models right here, or different profiles or captures of hardware. And the drive knob is correlated to each capture here by allowing you to adjust how much distortion you want. So nice to have those different models. Now the signal's not very hot to begin with, so it's not going to get a lot of preamp saturation, but it's good for just thickening up just a little bit. Let's try some of this EQ out. I'll bypass it on and off as it plays, starting with it on. That's great. Sounds fantastic on the EQ there. So a nice Neve 1073 style EQ. Now let's bypass this one and jump to an API style EQ here. Again, we have different preamp profiles here and a drive knob to go along with it. And if we engage the EQ, I'll bypass it on and off as it plays. And another great sounding EQ, really nice. Using the same acoustic guitar part, but leaving the processing from the 1073 on, we're going to go to the Tape M AI, which is based upon a 70s 2-track tape machine from Germany. If you listen really closely, you can hear the noise profile in there. And of course, we can use this button to turn the noise off. I'm going to leave it on for now. There's only one captured profile of this tape machine, so there's just the drive knob to dial in the distortion there. And we've got an output gain knob after that. It's really, really simple. So here it is with the plugin engaged, stock settings with the noise on. And now I'll play with the drive. You can hear it start to break up a little bit as you push the drive. I'll bypass it on and off as it plays. So really subtle, but that's what most tape machines are, especially those old 2-track tape machines. They're not a huge obvious effect, but just a nice sort of saturation into the signal. Let's try the other tape model they have, the Tape SAI here, which is based upon a late 80s, early 90s tape machine. And again, I'll just leave it at stock settings here. I'll bypass on and off as it plays. Really nice tonal differences there. Let me push the drive up. Yeah, really nice warmth and distortion down there. For the last two models, we're going to move to a bass part, and these are sort of preamps. I'm going to play the bass part by itself. This plugin's bypassed now. Turn the plugin on. Here we go. To get the effect of this, I really have to crank the input because it's not a very hot signal. So let's start with it on. Then I'll bypass it on and off as it plays. So some nice subtle distortion there. And of course, if you had a lot hotter signal on, you could really beef things up. For the next one, the Green AD-AI, we've got this analog to digital analog converter where we can dial in the distortion that way. And again, I have to push the signal up a little bit to get the distortion I want. Here's what it sounds like with the plugin bypassed. And with the plugin engaged, and I'll push the drive up as it plays. You can hear it really start to break up there. I'll put it to the low profile, the second profile. And I'll bypass it on and off as it plays. So there we have it, a collection of 6 AI-assisted analog modeled plugins from 3-Body Technology. We've got this converter, we've got a preamp, we've got 2 EQs and pre's, and we've got 2 tape machine models. So a really nice collection. And the nice thing about it is, like a lot of analog gear, it's actually pretty subtle. It's not really extreme effects. The EQs sound fantastic, but the preamps themselves and the tape machines are a little bit subtle, and you have to drive them to get a lot of character out of them, much like real analog gear. So kudos to 3-Body Tech and the development team for coming up with these plugins. I'll put a link down in the description below if you would like to check these out for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in that comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.